Hi everyone, it's Dawn Fisher, Morning Glory Needleworks. Welcome to my 41st FlossTube video. As always, thank you to everybody who subscribed, commented, likes my channel, or you're following me. I really appreciate it. As always, I have links posted in the comments section underneath the video. Comments or description, whatever you want to call it. And I include chapters. I break my videos into chapters. So there'll be like the intro, my life update. I'm going to talk about some WIPS I have in progress, some other antique scissor cases, and stitch of the month. It's the first of the month. So we're going to go over that. Also, there's links to Morning Glory Needleworks Etsy shop, Stitch of the Month Facebook page, Morning Glory Needleworks Facebook page, Instagram, all that stuff. So it's the 1st of September, 2023. So much going on again. So for my life update, if you've watched the news, as most of you know, I live in Florida, and yes, we had a hurricane come through a few days ago. Our area was very lucky. The hurricane made landfall well north of us. We did have heavy rain and wind. We actually had some rain come through this morning, so it hung around quite a while. That was a huge storm. Some of the areas here in St. Petersburg were flooded. Depends on where you're at. I'm actually in a no flood, non-evacuation zone, which is why we bought the house here. One of the reasons. So I was high and dry, fine. Other areas had to evacuate, especially if you're in a mobile home or you're next to the water. Gulfport, which is really close, it floods quite often. So anyway, other than that, so after the wind and rain stopped, I went out and to check the yard and found out one section of my wood fence has fallen into the neighbor's yard. They haven't come to complain yet, so they probably don't know. I just figured it out. I also, my car is outside the fence, so I went out there, and this branch about this big around, maybe a little bit bigger, anyway, had fallen on my car on the front end and just slid off and was between the car and the garage. So it didn't do any damage, thank goodness. That's all I need is more damage on my car, or another car with damage, I should say. So I dragged the branch off down by the road, and then the city will come pick them up. But you pile stuff up. We had a lot of hurricanes and storms and things. So anyway, not going to go into that. But I called the neighborhood handyman, so he's going to get with me tomorrow and see, he should be able to just fix that. It shouldn't take too long. He's really good. And, it's kind of a pain, but if that's the worst of it, I feel really lucky, that's all that happened. Luckily, I had the new roof put on too, which makes me feel better. So, but Tuesday night, that was the night the hurricane came through. My phone was just blowing up with hurricane updates, and I get news updates, and it's an update on evacuations and all that kind of stuff, whether I'm involved or not. So it kept dinging all the time. So I shut my phone, or the sound, off, turned it way down. And when I got up Wednesday morning and I was looking at my phone, I was shocked to see my backyard ring motion detector had gone off. Well, I just figured a lot of times the wind will set it off, trees blowing or whatever, something blowing by. But it said somebody was in the backyard. So I watched the video, and sure enough, there was a man with a dog in my backyard at 4:30 in the morning, which kind of freaked me out. But I kind of zoomed in and watched the video a lot closer, and I realized it was a policeman with a dog on a leash. He was searching around the backyard, and it kind of goes around back behind the garage and back behind the house. And so I watched him, and he was out there for a little while. So obviously he was looking for somebody. And this is during a hurricane. It was during one of the, I mean, we didn't get bad hurricane, but we did have some wind gusts up to 30 some miles an hour, and the rain bands come in. If you've ever been on the outskirts of a hurricane, there's these big bands of rain that come in. It was between the bands of rain. But anyway, so we have a neighborhood Facebook group. So I put on there, it's like, anybody know what's going on? Because they're usually more aware of it. Somebody is. And they said 3 teenagers had stolen, I think it was a truck. And the police were chasing them. They crashed the truck. And so they took off. They happened to be in our neighborhood, which is right off a couple of the main roads. It's usually not a very busy neighborhood. But anyway, so the police were chasing or looking for these three teenagers, and they did find them. So, oh my goodness, that did, at least they caught them, but that was kind of scary. And it was weird because that's the one time usually I hear when my ring goes off, because sometimes I've had possums in my backyard, cats, squirrels on top of the garbage cans. Sometimes they'll set off the thing. But anyway, so that was my excitement. But other than that, I'm fine. Everything's good. Never lost power. I had my water, I had my supplies ready. So I'm in Florida. We're kind of always ready. Now I have 2 WIPS I want to talk about. So I previously mentioned that I'm reproducing the Mexican sampler stitched by Trinidad Gonzalez in 1879. So I actually have moved the scroll rods a little bit. You can see I don't have much more done, but I have something else I'm working on. So I'm going to show you. This is a lot of fun. This is the long arm cross stitch. And she works it like in these, any areas that are horizontal, like these leaves or flowers, whatever they are. She would work in long arm cross, and instead of starting at one side, she just work and then go back. So it gives a really interesting effect, but it's a lot of fun. I thought it would be a lot more confusing, but I'm really doing good. I'm enjoying it. It's a lot, but it's a lot of fun. So, but I had to put that aside because I'm going to be teaching Grandma's button box again. This is I'm going to be teaching this in first weekend in October in Branson, Missouri. And Whitman's, how dare they? This is mounted on a Whitman's chocolate box. Whitman's decided not only to change these, this was a 12-ounce box. The boxes are now 10 ounce, but it's the same size box. But they also changed it. This is the box I used, type of box. See, it has the lip. Well, they no longer have the lip, but luckily they're the same size. So I have very detailed instructions on how to finish this with this lip on it. So now I have to refinish it or figure out how to finish it without the lip. So I am stitching the top again. I'm restitching this. I'll show you in a minute. And I'll be restitching the banding also. I'll tell you, I've been getting ready for this class and I got huge box. This is stitched with Sulky, the 12 weight, the cotton petites is what I use. And I got this huge box of Sulky because it's got 8 different colors and there's like 40 people in the class. So I sat for an hour or 2 listening to my audiobook and bagging up floss for this class. So, but this is where I'm at. It's a lot of fun. I've been having a good time. It works up really fast. I'm not actually doing it in the same order that, you know, you would do it in the class. In the class, we do, you know, each button, you start at one end and go to the other. And, but some of these are a little more complicated and I don't I wasn't ready to try and do them in the recliner, but I've gotten quite a bit done. It's working up really fast. I'm enjoying it. I've been digging through Grandma's button box again, or the buttons from Grandma's button box that I have, and finding buttons, some really cool. This is like a clear glass. This is a brown kind of mottled button, and this is a clear glass button on there. This is a they're called China buttons, and this is another China button, a real deep one. I think it's, no, it's not pie crust. I can't remember what it's called. This button, I can't remember. I think they're called Whistler buttons. If you can see, it only has one hole. Turn it. Nope, light's not any better over there. It has one hole on the top and two holes on the bottom. So you just go up through the one hole, but like I said, there's two holes on the bottom of the button. But anyway, so I've been having a really good time with this, just stitching it. Obviously, I only have 3 more buttons to, or 3 more flowers and buttons to go. So it shouldn't take me too much longer. Famous last words, but I've been working pretty steady on it. And plus, like I said, I still have to stitch this banding. And it's funny with, when you go on the Witchell, I buy this wholesale from Witchell, who's a wholesaler. And this takes 1 yard of this banding. So I just ordered 45 yards of it, I think. And on their website, they go, yes, this is our best seller. Yeah, because I buy 45 yards at a time. Or usually I buy like 20 or 25 yards. But this time with the class being so big, I always buy a little bit extra just to make sure. I also ordered 3 yards of linen that I have to sit down. This is 28 count, or this is 28 count cream linen. And I have to, have to sit down and cut all the pieces for the class. But anyway, it's, like I said, I just put on my audiobooks and I sit at the, I finally got the dining room table cleared off with all of, Jeffrey had been working on his guitars and there was parts everywhere before he passed. And so I finally got all that moved off the table. Some of it I've given away. I did sell 4 of his guitars. So anyway, that's enough of that. But so when I make up the kits, I probably have literally 10,000 buttons. I mean, I have just, most of them are in crystal light containers, the clear ones. They've changed them. They don't make them that way anymore, but they were plastic containers. And I sort them in that because there's certain size buttons you need. There's like so many 2-hole large buttons, 4-hole large buttons, 2-hole small buttons, 4-hole small buttons, 1 medium button. So it's a lot to sit down. It's going to take hours to sit and sort the buttons, but it's so much fun. And I always try and include a couple special and unusual buttons with the kit. I have a whole bag of, these are 1-hole buttons. You can figure out how to attach them somehow. I think they used to have a, I don't know who did it, but they may have used to have the, oh God, what's it called? The little metal thing in the center with just a round attachment on the back. But these are all mother of pearl buttons. So I usually give one of that if people want it. I usually try and find something, like I said, unusual. People bring their own buttons. If they're local, I've had people bring in big boxes of buttons and everybody just played with it. When I taught it at Stitcher's Hideaway, we actually went to a button museum, which was so much fun. And another time when I was there with Sue Donnelly, she always takes me out exploring. And we went to this antique shop we always visit whenever I go. And they had like tons of buttons. So they were like new buttons that had never been used. They were on a wire They used, when they sold them in bulk, they used to put them on like a wire. So anyway, I have lots of buttons. So it's kind of fun. Takes a long time though, you know, to sit and sort through them, but it's a fun, relaxing afternoon. I have little bags that I was trying to find. No, these are too big. Anyway, you can see the little, I put them in little bags. I sort them out. I think I have a kit over there. But anyway, these are my big buttons that I demonstrate the stitches with that I have here. So that's enough about buttons. But it's been a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. And I love teaching the class. So if you ever need a teacher, this is a one-day class, or I'll probably be teaching it two half days, because this is like a 3-day retreat. So anyway, but it's a lot of fun. Everybody loves it. So next, I just wanted to get back into talking a little bit about some of my antiques. A lot of them have been packed up. My books, I'm still working on all of that craziness, but with everything else going on, I haven't had a lot of time to work on my house, unfortunately. So I was looking through my big shelves where I have all my antique stuff, and I found these. I have a couple of these. They're scissor cases, and they're very cool. This one did not come with scissors in it, but this is how they're stored in here. There's no maker on here. I don't know where this case came from. There's no information on it. It's probably plastic, faux leather, vegan leather, they call it nowadays. But and then the scissors just slide right in, and there's enough room for 3 different sizes of scissors. These were some scissors I had in my collection, and they're a little tight fitting in here. So this is just a cute little pair. These are little cheap scissors. Don't think, oh wait, they are marked. I don't know if I can read that or not. I can't read it. So I don't know what it says. Yep. No, I think they're made in England. These scissors, and then a bigger pair that is pretty much the same. It's got the same design on it. These are made in the USA. They say USA on both sides. I don't know if they were originally black. Sometimes they are. These may not be old. And this pair is a beautiful pair of scissors. Aren't those beautiful? I think they have sterling handles. Just the handles are sterling. And then this is metal. These are not marked. I think they are marked sterling somewhere on them. Yep, it says sterling on it. These are just nice size cutting scissors, but those are just some of the scissors I've picked up at flea markets and then put them in. They're like velvet lined in the scissor case here. Then I have this one, which is a little bit nicer. It's kind of a brown leather. Again, not sure, it's probably, I don't think it's real leather because it looks like it's worn off a little bit. You see, it's like wrapped around cardboard. It's a worn spot on the bottom of it. But this one just has a little slip that you can hold it in there. Again, not marked. This one came with the scissors, and these are very nice, beautiful vintage scissors. The top on this has a little bit of gold. I mean, I don't think it's real gold, but gold plating on it, and they're very nice. Very, very pointed, very sharp scissors, really, and just can't really see the design on them. They have just a little bit of an etched design. This one is pretty plain, but they're, again, very nice scissors. This one is, I read it earlier. I don't think it's Sheffield. I broke my glasses. Oh, there's some. I have some reading glasses here. Magnifiers. Let me see if I can read it. Oh, it says Germany. Henkels. Germany Henkels, it says. And the handles are black with a little bit of gold on them. Just, again, very nice. Very nice scissors. Let's see if I can read what this one says. This has got like a crown, O and RL, O and the ampersand. And then this one, this is really pretty too. Very delicate. You can see the etching on this. These are can't tell if it's Flutters and got quite a and company. Can't read what it says. I don't think the handles are sterling on this. Oh, maybe it's Butler or Butters and Company. Very pretty. Again, just a little bit of ornamentation. The only problem with these is they don't close all the way. See that they're bent somehow, so they don't. I probably could have them repaired, but I'm not going to use them. So anyway, that is this type. I only have 2 of these types of scissor holders, but I have this other one. I love it so much. Let me put my glasses back on. This is very different. This is from a chatelaine. When I pulled it out, see the beautiful engraving, or it's actually like embossed. I thought this was a card case, but it's got a little case inside. And this again is, I think this may be real leather. I'm not sure. Looks almost like alligator or something. Maybe not. Anyway, but you open it up and there is a teeny tiny little pair of scissors in velvet. It's velvet lined. There's the case. Little teeny tiny pair of scissors. I think this says, well, these are Bowen scissors. So I don't know when Bowen scissors were first made. So these may be newer scissors. I'll have to check and see how long Bowen scissors have been around. But like the needles, most people know of Bowen needles, but they also make scissors. So anyway, this is just, I just love this. I mean, how sweet is that? Beautiful. Sterling, this is sterling also. I have no idea what I paid for it. I've had it for years, but really pretty and delicate, and it's marked sterling on the bottom. So that's a few scissor holders, something a little different than what you usually see. I'm actually going to, I think anyway, I haven't decided yet, but I'm thinking about going to the Webster Flea Market on Labor Day. That's their big, one of their big days. It's like the opening is when the snowbird vendors come back and stuff. So anyway, I'm thinking about doing that. That will be on Labor Day. And if I find anything, I don't plan on buying much. I don't want to buy a lot of big stuff, but if I can find a few little things like this, I'm not going to bring the wagon, so I can't buy anything big. So that's the whole trying to get rid of stuff, not buy more. But anyway, so that's that. Now it's time for Stitch of the Month. So because I've been talking about the long arm cross stitch here, I decided to do long arm cross stitch for Stitch of the Month. And I actually took a section of a band off this sampler down at the bottom. They get smaller. So And this is called, what's it called? It's either Greek key or running dog, but this is the band here. And this is all done in long arm cross stitch. Actually, I got things sticking out. Actually, the vertical stitches are cross stitch, and that's the way Trinidad worked them on her sampler. But all the horizontal stitches are done in long arm cross stitch. So let me pull out. Here is the sampler. This is, I've added this band to it. Look at that. We only got a few more left. September, October, November, just 3 more stitches left for this year. And then this is the stitch of the month. Now, don't get confused. This right here is this right here. I was only going to do long arm cross, but this way you can kind of see how you come down. Just do cross stitch, long arm cross, a cross stitch, long arm cross going the other way, cross stitch, and then continue across with the long arm cross. Of course, I'm going to demonstrate this. This will be available as a PDF if I remember to change it, because sometimes I forget. And this will be in the Stitch of the Month Facebook group. So please be sure to join that, and you can have this printed out. Meanwhile, I'm going to demonstrate this. First, I'm going to show you a PowerPoint like I always do and talk about, again, how the stitch works. And then I'm going to go over and show you in real time, kind of recorded real time, how to do this stitch. So hang on, let me pull up my PowerPoint. Okay, so here we are. Now, you're going to start up in the upper left-hand corner and work the 5 vertical cross stitches straight down. I did not number the first 4 because it's just a cross stitch. So you do the first 5 cross stitches down, and the last one I've got numbered. So that's your cross stitch is 1, 2, 3, 4. Then step 5, 6 is actually 2 threads high and 4 threads wide. That's your long arm. And then you go straight down to over 2 threads to step 7 and do a regular half cross. So long arm cross is 1 stitch over 4 threads and 1 stitch back over 2 threads. Now on the back of the long arm cross stitch, the stitches are vertical. That's how you know you've been doing it correctly. And that's kind of how I think about it. I'll show you live. You're not going to be able to see in the little picture I have there. So anyway, that's how you know when you're moving in the right direction when you're doing long arm cross. You just have to think about, okay, I need to go down or up because the stitch on the back needs to be straight. So again, you do 5, 6 is over 4, straight down. Do 7, 8 over the top, straight down. 2 threads. 9, 10 is 4 threads wide again and 2 threads high. Go down 2 threads for 11 and come up at 11. Go down at 12, which shares a hole with 6, and continue across the row. Now, when you get to the end, there's 5 stitches. You're covering 10 threads. Each stitch is 2 threads wide. So when you get to the end, now I charted this the way Trinidad did it, without a compensating stitch. So it's going to be kind of open at the end of the row. If you want, you can do a little like a quarter of a stitch, I guess you'd call it. You'd come up in the same hole as 15 and go down in the opening between 18 and 19, and that would fill that in. Or you could do a full half cross, whatever you want, and then it would match the beginning with all the extra threads. I charted it or diagrammed it the way Trinidad did it. So then we're going to go up. You do 19, 20, which is your last stitch, and you're going to do a cross stitch above that. Now you can't come up in the same hole, so you're going to kind of go up diagonally and go down and do your cross stitch. I'm going to demonstrate, so don't worry. And the numbering is all there. And the numbering, you can see this is exactly what is on the handout. So you're going to come up at 25, which shares holes with 26. Which shares holes with 21. So you're going to come up at 25, shares holes with 21, do like a backwards cross stitch. For me, it's the opposite. Oh, I guess it is the same. No, it's the opposite of what we're doing. This is where it gets confusing going backwards, but I got really good at it. So you're going to do a half cross, and then you're going to do your full cross. So you're going to do a full cross stitch, 25, 26, 27, 28. Then you're going to come up at 29, which shares holes with 25 and 21. So again, you're going to go from 28 straight down to 29, come up, go 4 threads to the left and 2 threads up, and go down for 30. Then you're going to go straight down. Remember, we're going straight down on the back, vertical stitches. And then you're going to come up at 31, go down at 32, which is a regular half cross, go down 2 threads, come up at 33, and go down at 34, which is 4 threads over. Then you're going to go down 2 threads, come up at 35, and do a regular half cross. Now you see it's 5 stitches down, 5 stitches across, 3 stitches up, 3 stitches across, 3 stitches up, and 5 across. Just follow the chart. So I hope you can follow the numbering. It's a fun stitch. Once you get the hang of it, I really like it. You're stitching, it's going to look like it's braided. That's how it will look across the row. So let me bring up the my canvas here so I can show you how to stitch this. Okay, so here we are. Let me grab my directions to make sure I'm following them exactly correctly, or the same way. So I'm going to go ahead and do my 5 cross stitches down. Let me figure out where I'm at here. Come up. There we go. Let me turn the light on here, see if that helps. Oh, jiggly, jiggly. Okay, so I'm going to do 5 cross stitches. I have a really long piece of thread as usual, so it gets tangled up everywhere. Oops, go back this way there. Okay, so let me do my 5 cross stitches down. I'm going to do exactly what I have here on the sheet. So I'm just going to go straight down. And I use the dark blue on mine. Of course, I'm using the sulky threads to stitch my Stitch of the Month sampler. You can use whatever color threads you want. Whatever colors you like. I use these really bright colors. So there's 3. Probably should have had these stitched first. I think you know how to cross stitch. Okay, so there's 4. This is my first stitch for the horizontal row. Again, here we go. There's step 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to come up in the same hole as 1. I'm going to go over 4 threads to the right and up 2 threads and do this long arm, they call it. Now I'm going to come up straight down. Again, your stitches on the back are going to be vertical, and do a half across. This works really good for the sewing method if you work in hand. I usually work on a frame, but when I was stitching the little sample, I don't put that in a hoop. I just do it in hand. So again, that was over 4 threads and then my half across. Now, of course, yours is going to be a lot better coverage because this is pretty big plastic canvas. So my stitch 4 threads wide, 2 threads high, then a regular stitch, regular half across. So there's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is the last one. and then I will move up. So that is step 19, 20. Now, like I said, see, this is kind of open. If you wanted this filled in more, you could come up in this same hole and go down here. Or you could just do another cross stitch there in that same hole if you wanted it to match how that one is, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just doing it. Now, when Trinidad worked hers, she worked it in wool, so it was a lot heavier. Now, when you move up, because your last stitch went down in this hole here, you can't come up in that hole to start your cross stitch. So I'm just going to come up here and go down here. And this is just a regular cross stitch because I'm working vertically. Now, to do the long arm cross going this way, going right to left, instead of starting down in the lower left-hand corner, you're going to start in the lower right-hand corner. So I'm going to come up here. So on the diagram, that's 25, 26. And again, you're going to have vertical stitches on the back, 27, 28. And I have to think about this when I'm stitching. It's like, where do I have to go? And they go, oh yeah, I just need to go straight down to have a vertical stitch on the back. That'll kind of keep you straight here. So we need to do 3 of these. Okay. So there is, that's 35, 36. Now we're going to do a regular cross stitch. So this is 37, 38. And then because you're going to want to come up in this hole to do the row up here, I'm going to come up here and go down 39, 40. And this is the way it's numbered. So now we're going to do 5 more horizontal stitches. I do not have all 5 diagrammed, but it's the same as they are down here. So then you just start again. Here's your cross stitch. Now I'm going to start the long arm. So again, vertical stitches on the back. So I'm going to go over 4 threads. Come up here. Do a half across, and then you just continue for 5 stitches, and then you're going to go down just like here. So that is long arm cross. I'm going to actually, let me show you mine. See if I can get in close enough here. This is the front, and you can see on the back. Now there are some half crosses on the back because that's where I was doing regular cross stitch, but you can see here where all the horizontal stitches are. They're all vertical. So that's how you know you're doing it correctly. So I hope you will try that. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, I've been having a good time. Let me pull up Miss Trinidad here and see if I can get kind of dark. I can zoom in and you can kind of see it looks braided, and you can see how they're going back and forth different directions. So this, I worked across here and then this way and then this way and then that way. And it was fun. It was a little challenge, and sometimes you have to like bring your threads, draw your threads across the back. You can see this is all long arm cross. It's all long arm cross. But anyway, it's a lot of fun, a little challenging, but not too bad. I hope you'll try it. So let me go back to my regular screen. So that's it, long arm cross stitch. I hope you enjoyed everything in this FlossTube. This is FlossTube. What did I say? 41 already. Wow. So again, thank you to everybody who watches, subscribes, comments. I love to see the comments and I try and answer them right away. I don't always get notified. But anyway, be sure to subscribe. I post my videos on the 1st and the 15th. I do that because I only do 2 a month, but I always do the stitch of the month on the 1st. And that's why I just do it on the 1st and the 15th. That way I know I'm always, I know when I have to have it done. And actually the last couple haven't been really on time because I've had a lot going on, but I'm trying to settle down. If we would quit having hurricanes and all that stuff, that would be good. And if I would quit breaking my car and things. So anyway, be sure to join the Facebook Stitch of the Month group. Be sure and follow Morning Glory Needleworks. I'm on Facebook also, Dawn Fisher. I had an account that was Dawn R. Fisher. I talked about that previously, I think, where I can't get into it anymore because it doesn't like my password all of a sudden. Nobody's hacked it. I just can't get into it. Long story, not going to go into it again. But so if you want to be Facebook friends with me, it's just Dawn Fisher, and I mean, I changed my picture. Right now it's a picture of the tattoo on my back. Yes, I have. This is my Nixie the Pixie. Anyway, so again, thank you so much. Before I go off on some other, these are my stitching tattoos. So it's all stitching related on this arm. So anyway, thank you again. And I will see you on the 15th.